there's this announcement, at least a hopeful announcement, of these new air taxis being introduced in Los Angeles. The company called Archer Aviation has been working on these air taxis, and they're trying to get them approved by the FAA in time for use at the 2028 Olympics. They're hoping apparently to get them approved by the end of this year for commercial use, at least for testing. And I kind of saw this at first and I was like, what's the difference? Is this really that different than just a helicopter?
Yeah.
Like,
how
is this actually different? And I don't think it's I think the big changes from what I can read looking at the article is it has way more space, way more engines, and is way quieter than a helicopter. And it's something that is more suitable for common public use than a helicopter is. Because, when you're near a helicopter, it's incredibly loud. Like, it's something that is not fun to be around. And if you had helicopters flying to the same degree of traffic or even a comparable degree of traffic that cars were around the city, it would be miserable. And I think the idea is, shutting down the noise pollution aspect and helping LA meet this insane goal that they have of no cars for the 2028 Olympics. They want to remove cars from transportation as much as possible for that event. Or like, at least that was the stated goal a long time ago. With some venues still having parking for certain events, but strengthening public transportation enough in LA that the amount of people visiting for that event.
I am so ready for that event to be a massive, massive clusterfuck. I would love if we're all flying around in air taxis. I guess I'm a skeptic on how LA, which is already so choked, is gonna stomach LAX alone, the increase in travel, all in that the U-turn loop, and
we got the People Mover coming.
You
know about the People Mover?
I do know about the People Mover.
People Mover's going to save us. I mean, there are little changes. There are little changes LA has managed to make in the expectation of the Olympics coming in 2028. And little things like this, I do not think this air taxi company is going to be a central part of what relieves traffic during the 2028
we're all
Olympics.
Just fucking zipping around.
I think I was more intrigued by the idea of a more quieter helicopter being invented that had reasonable use and is decently affordable enough for a normal-ish person to use to get around a city. That is kind of intriguing, right? This almost back to the future
cost
idea.
Matters a lot, right? I don't know how.
They haven't said anything about what pricing will be like.
Is it driverless? Because I know those are being developed, but there are different levels of regulation.
I feel like
I haven't followed.
I don't think it says it is, but there's no way they approve a driverless version.
No, not to start. But so there's a bunch of companies that are doing this, and then they're farther along in the Middle East, is my understanding. Last I looked in, this was like a year ago, so it's probably out of date. But this is an industry that's booming, and then obviously regulation is just one of, if not the most challenging thing. It sounds like most of these are functional and work and are cool. So I think the value, the excitement of the 2028 Olympics is not that these are going to fly everybody around, but that might convince the city to approve some of it, and then it actually starts, right? Because just that first step is what's important, just proving it a little bit. So if there's 10 of these flying around during the Olympics, that would be a big, exciting media thing, right? They're talking about, they're going, oh my God, in LA, there's flying taxis. And that would be, I think, the impetus for then it to really start expanding in a major way.
Did you ever see I think it was in New York, they tried Uber helicopter for a while. I don't think it's available anymore. And there's this viral tweet from years ago of somebody trying to get an Uber from Manhattan to JFK at like peak surge pricing, and they show the Uber options on their phone, and the normal Uber X is more expensive than the Uber helicopter to JFK. And I think as far-fetched as this seems for widespread availability in the near future or by the 2028 Olympics, the idea that something like this could be decently accessible one day is pretty cool.
It will accelerate.
Cool.
It's going to accelerate.
It's
It's like with driverless cars. Like most people in the country statistically have not tried a driverless car, and it still seems like this kind of weird form. Even most people in LA haven't tried one yet.
Yeah.
But the rate. Do you guys remember when Uber first started coming out and you heard about it?
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, you can call on your phone. It's like, what? And maybe you were out like after a bar or something, of somebody, no, you should try this
Try
thing.
it.
And then
Oh,
like
yeah.
a year later, it's ubiquitous.
it's so cheap. Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
It
awesome.
was
Yeah.
$5
It-
back then. You
it
could get a
was
ride
so
anywhere. And
cheap.
While we're talking about Waymo, mentioning self-driving, can you pull this image up, Perry? I'm sending you an image through. I don't know if you can, but they, living in LA, you see them all the time now. I don't know if you guys are.
Yeah, they're around everywhere.
And the ridership data, which we're gonna pull up here in a second, is gapping up huge. It's
Wow.
like really, really spiking. And they just passed 10 million total rides. And it is starting to hit that breaking point, at least here in LA, where it's like people are familiar with it, they're comfortable with it, and the word of mouth is spreading. Like the rides are going consistently well enough that people are willing to give it a try. And then you're seeing it everywhere, which is like a kind of a marketing tool. What's funny is all the extra stuff is kind of like a marketing tool. It's
Yeah,
rather
the
than-
fact that it's not a standard vehicle and stands out
Yeah.
so much is the reminder that this is
this
different and you should
exists
go
and
ahead and
different,
try it.
and also makes you feel safer. Almost all the extra
Yeah.
bells and whistles. So anyway, it's been working. It's funny that as we approach Tesla's big June Austin day that they've been
Harry,
talking
can you try
about.
to find that? What the supposed launch date is? In theory, Tesla is launching driverless cars in Austin, Texas, within the next month, and I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, sorry,
Yeah, I
go
mean,
ahead.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but like it kind of needs to, because they keep talking like they're the leader or the forefront of this. And as Waymo passes 10 million rides with like a better safety statistic, less accidents, less, as far as I know, no major. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a couple borderline, but like the track record is good. Now I will say this: I want to give some counterpoints that I've seen a lot of, is that people are noticing as Waymos drive more and more on the road that they are notorious tailgaters. Like so people are brake checking them all the time. And I noticed it. I was driving to a dinner recently and it was like on my ass, and I was like, get off me. It makes me uncomfortable.
You are a boomer.
Like it does. So there's like complaints going around, but as far as I know, they just are really insanely fast.
June 12th. That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2
that's
weeks
so
it's supposed to
soon.
launch.
There's no way. Wow.
And they're expanding. Waymo's expanding to South Bay and San Jose and I think other places. So it's like it's happening. They are rolling out, and I wonder how that's gonna measure up, as Tesla has been doing a lot of talk for years now. Finally has to deliver. They have to have this robotaxi service. I'm gonna do it here.
You just gotta.
I'm just gonna scream.
You
from a
just gotta
distance.
keep it with you. You keep
It's like
looking
in my
out.
way.
Yes.
It's
You
in
gotta-
my way. Okay.
The one thing I wanted to bring up, because we were talking about the Olympics in LA, and you were talking about what a disaster it's going to be because we don't have very good public transportation infrastructure here, and there's so many people that come to attend such a global event like that. And there's this weird thing with LA that LA is like particularly suited from a financial perspective to host the Olympics because all of the facilities are already built.
Yeah.
The city is big enough
can just reuse it.
that all of these things get reused all the time. Unlike most cities, there isn't this gigantic expense to the country to host the games, to which most of these countries do lose a ton of money
Yeah.
on, and then have these like ghost stadiums and buildings after the fact because they needed them for just that portion of time. And LA is perfect because all of these facilities exist. But then it is coupled with the fact that we're the only major airport in the world without a tie to like a train that's supposed to be getting built. We suffer from horrendous traffic. Our metro accesses so few areas of the city relative to what it needs to. It's an unfortunate clash of the city is uniquely suited to host the Olympics
Yeah.
and to not host it at the same time.
Yeah, LAX is going to be a nightmare. I just know it will. I just know we're going to have headline think pieces on how LA's infrastructure has failed this. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to. I just
That's
don't-
great. No, I'm
You're
kidding.
gonna somebody's gonna go into the loop at LAX and come back out a changed man. Like
gonna come
10
out
years
40
later,
years older.
you've gray hair.
Yes. I think this is great. You're going to have all these famous people from around the world come into LA and see that respectfully it's a shithole and that will cause way more motion towards changing things. Necessity is the mother of invention. Having a bunch of prominent diplomats from other countries stuck in the U
You
at
need
LAX
Xi Jinping
is the mother of
stuck
invention.
in the U, talking about the weakness of American
you
transportation.
What was
know-
that when he visited San Francisco? The tweet about nothing cleans up the
Oh, yeah,
streets
they
of
got
San
it all.
Francisco
Yeah,
like a
because of
Xi
Xi
Jinping
Jinping.
visit.
Oh, dude. Like, okay, can you imagine how many media outlets are going to be showing images of LA traffic and LAX and then show videos of China high-speed rail? Like, they're going to embarrass us, and it's going to be awesome. I think this is great. It's going to be a great thing for the future.
It's not that far away, which is crazy.